Hi, I'm Julia Katsibo. Really excited to be here with you today. I'm going to talk to you about the 3 amazing things that you can do to change your mindset for business while you still work your day job. So these are the 3 things that I did over a number of years before I actually left my paid employment to do what I do now. And I'd like to share them with you because they're highly effective and they're really going to get you set on the path of success. Now, you may already be doing this. If you are, that's amazing. You may not already be doing this, so this is something to consider and start. So the first amazing thing that you can do to change your mindset for a business, and this is while you work your day job, is to start to read and listen to books on personal development and money. The 2 things that you really want to work on before you go into this amazing world called entrepreneurship is your relationship with yourself and your relationship with money. Because the things that stand in your way, any sabotaging behaviors, thoughts, belief systems, habits, all of that will come to the surface. All of that will come and prevent you from moving forward in such powerful ways, and it'll just hit you from the left. You won't even see it coming. So what you want to do now is you want to get really clear on your relationship with yourself and your relationship with money. This means doing a lot of studying. This means doing a lot of reading, a lot of listening. So for example, I had about a 3-hour commute to work back and forth. And what I would do is I would listen to audiobooks. And to be honest with you, it's like a new diet, right? So if you're not used to listening to nonfiction or reading nonfiction books, if you're not used to that heavy money, personal development, professional development stuff, at the very beginning, it's going to be really difficult to keep your attention, or for you to even want to flip open that book or to even pay attention to it. So just look at it as a new diet where maybe you're used to a lot of fat and salt and sugar, and now you're moving to a really clean diet, and that food doesn't taste that great. So you're going to keep going until you introduce your mind to a new way of thinking and seeing things. And that's what we want to do here. Because when you're reading about money, like, so for me, what I did is I would then flip over the pages, the financial pages of leading magazines and newspapers. And for a while there, I'm just going to be honest with you, I was just looking at that stuff like, what is this? And then as time goes by, you begin to be a little bit more interested. You know, the amazing thing about the internet is you can look up terms. So if you see something that doesn't make sense, you can always go look it up. And this is what I did with my commutes and also my breaks. So if you have any breaks at work, I know it sounds so much better to go just talk to your neighbors or your coworkers about what was on TV last night. But if you have 15 minutes or 30 minutes that you can spare, that's when you open up that book and really learn about yourself and really learn about money. If you don't take care of these 2 things, money and yourself, again, as I mentioned, in a little while, these are the things that will come up to prevent you from doing the things that your business will ask you to do. And these are the things that will prevent you from being successful. Your business will ask you to put yourself out there in a way that you never imagined possible. If you're an introvert, I am an introvert. I know how to be in social circles, but I am an introvert. If you're an introvert, or if you're not used to going out and talking to strangers, if you're not used to selling, period, if you're not used to doing a lot of things like promoting yourself or speaking about benefits, convincing anyone to do anything, then if you have any issues with self, or if you have any issues with money, this is where they're really just all going to pop up and hold you down. So you want to work on that. So, you know, you have your 9 to 5, you're not quitting anytime soon. You want to know how your business is going to work. The first thing is start investing your time in learning about yourself and in learning about your money. Now, my dog agrees. That's why he's playing with his toy. The other thing that we want to do here is to be producers and not consumers. Now, this is the difference. A consumer is someone who will go on Facebook. Wow, just really agreeing with this, Pepper. I love it. A consumer will go on Facebook, will go on other social media sites and just consume the information that's out there, right? But a producer will create information to be shared. Now, there's a difference between regurgitating what's already out there and producing. You will find that if you are someone who's always reading, someone who's always having conversations with people about the things that really matter, like large scale things that affect people on a really real, so when I say this, I mean not talking to people about people, but talking to people about issues that matter, things that could make the world a better place, or even, you know, starting with your workplace or starting with your home. You'll notice that you have original thought, original ideas, and you want to start sharing them. This is going to attract to you a bunch of people who think the same, or who will even help you think even wider or broader strokes, or give you even more information than you had before. So it'll help you attract new people that you want to start interacting with, and it also gets you into the zone of being a producer. Now, again, here's the difference. A lot of times I'll see people post, you know, something on social media that's already trending, and what they do is they add on to the hype. They add on to the hype of dismay or shock or horror, but they don't add anything new to the discussion. So that is not being a producer. You're just regurgitating the trash that's already out there. A producer is someone who has original thought, someone who has something unique, someone who has something to contribute to the larger discussion that will lead people to an amazing result, hopefully. So we're going for the amazing result part. You want to start sharing your thoughts. Don't be afraid of how you think. Don't be afraid of your original thought. Don't be afraid of being the person who's always playing devil's advocate, or who has a contrary way of thinking. We want to hear from you. And this, again, is different from regurgitating information or just rants about life. We all have bad days. That doesn't necessarily mean that social media is the place to share them, right? You want to do something, produce something that makes someone think about what they already know, or what they don't know, or what they didn't know. I have my cheerleader here, in case you're hearing all this noise in the background. He just completely agrees with me and decides to show his love by playing with the most noisiest toy that he can find. The third thing that I'd like for you to consider, which is an amazing way that you can change your mindset, and this is while you're working your regular 9 to 5 before you move on to your business, is, yes, and this is huge. I love the internet because it's such an equalizer. It provides for us a platform in which you can connect with people that you otherwise could not connect with. As an example, about 15, 20 years ago, I would have to pick up the phone and then flip through the yellow pages to get phones and numbers to reach people that I was interested in speaking with. And this was in the pursuit of my education or career. Now, all you do is you just go over to Google and you type in someone's information. We have access to so much information, but I think that because we have this access, we take it for granted. You know, like I'll talk to people who will say to me, oh, I don't know where to find work. So for example, if they want to speak in corporate spaces, I don't know where to find work, no one will talk to me. And I will ask them, well, did you reach out to the people who make these decisions and ask them for the opportunity? And they'll say, oh, I don't know how to get a hold of the person. Really? 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 We have the internet. I mean, practically everybody's on social media. And even if they're not, you can go in and even find building addresses that were not there before. One of my good friends, he said to me that he's not on social media, but what he does is he sends personalized letters to physical addresses. What is the excuse, people? So we have the internet. Start following, start interacting with the people that you know, like, trust, the people that you believe in, the people that you feel that you could learn from. And that's what I started to do. In my circle of social media, I just started adding on people that I could profit from. And this is the idea. These are the people who start to fill up your timelines. Now, I'm really, really blessed and happy that on my timelines, especially on Facebook, I'm not faced with all this fake news and all these shocking stories and all of that good stuff that people complain about. Actually, what fills my timeline is awesome goodies. It's filled with people who are doing things. It's filled with people who are going places. It's filled with people who are action takers, people who are producers. And so they always provide information that's food for thought for me, or adds on to what I'm already doing, or gives me reason to think or to pause. It's people who are helping me be more of what I want to be. And that's what I get to see. I get to see who's doing what events they're planning. So, you know, that whole idea of looking at social media and feeling that fear of missing out, FOMO, or feeling that the world is all coming down in a burning whatever basket, whatever, all of that, it really is based on what you look at. So more, you know, what you look at, what you interact with, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a whole lot more of that. So if you start being intentional about the people that you follow, and it's not to say go look for the shiny objects. I mean, we all have problems. No one is immune from them. But you want to start following the people who, in spite of anything that's going on in their lives, that they are moving forward and that they are achieving their goals, because that can be so motivating, especially on days when you perhaps don't feel that encouraged. I know for myself that there are days when I've gotten up and I do not feel like moving a muscle in the direction of my dreams. But again, if I look at my timeline, I will see someone who has an amazing tip, someone who has an amazing story to share, people who are building their dreams, people who are moving forward. And before I know it, that 5 seconds is all I needed to know that, okay, you're not alone. There are tons of other people on the race, people who are going forward, and you can too. And that's really what I'm trying to get at here, right? So these 3 things will really help you fix your mindset so that you can start your business and be successful at it more times than not. So the first thing is you're going to start taking the time that you're applying to mass media and the consumption of mass information, and you're going to start borrowing books and listening to books on personal development, professional development, and money. You really want to work on your relationship with self and your relationship with money. At the very beginning, if you're not used to doing this, it's going to be really hard to follow, very boring. Just be patient and just keep thinking that you're doing this for the long term, and just keep going at it until you start to develop that love of wanting to even know more and then apply. The second thing is you want to start being a producer. So not a curator of information and not regurgitating information, and definitely not sharing shock value information without a single original thought. You want to start producing content that's going to really help others or help the people that you want to help get on their way and move forward. You want to start being a producer and not just a consumer. Producers give, consumers take. You want to make that switch, because for as long as you're a consumer, you will not be a successful business person who is in the business of producing and selling what you produce. So it's great to know how your consumers think, because you're one, but it's now time to change and become that producer. Think, what can I do, or how could I do that better? Or what can I provide that's missing? Start having those kinds of thoughts. And the third thing is look at the people that you admire. They're human too. And honestly, more times than not, they're just going to reach out to you. I talk to people all over the world, and it doesn't matter how high up in their position they are. 99% of them respond to me. And I tell you, I'm amazed at the rate at which they respond to me, because in my mind, you should be very busy, and I'm lucky if you even saw this message, but they do. They see it and they respond. And as long as you're genuine, you're not wasting anyone's time, and you have a purpose about you, and you know what you're doing with your life, then you tend to attract people who are that way as well. Now, if you enjoyed this video, that's amazing. I have a goodie there for you that you can click and get for yourself. And it's a template. It shows you the 7 steps to starting your business. Throw me your questions, your comments. I'd love to hear from you. My name is Julia Katsivo, and have a great rest of the day or night.